Shabbat Shalom. We're going to go ahead and get started here in about a minute. Should wave the lights on and off. We should flip the lights. So Shabbat Shalom, welcome to Agudath Israel Etz Ahayem Synagogue here in Montgomery, Alabama. I am Rabbi Scott Kramer. Welcome to our Sisterhood Shabbat. So excited for tonight. And we are praying out of Siddur Lev Shalem, which is downloadable as a PDF file from our synagogue's website. I believe that Elaine and Emily are going to say a few words too, and you can go over here. No.
Good Shabbos. Thank you. Thank you for joining us for our annual Sisterhood Shabbat service. First, I have a friend online that I invited to join us tonight, and I would just like to say hello. I told him I would give him a little sign. I'm glad he's joining us tonight. When I was 21 years old, I moved out on my own. One night, I received a phone call from Joy Blondheim inviting me to become a member of Sisterhood. I was delighted to be asked to join this group of wonderful women who I had always admired. Of course, I said yes, and now 44 years later, it is one of the best decisions I have ever made. If you are not a member of Sisterhood, we invite you to join us for an opportunity I promise you will not regret. Sisterhood brings together women of all ages and backgrounds to share in fun, exciting, and spiritually inspired events. Through Sisterhood, you will connect with fellow Sisterhood members in friendship within your Jewish community. When you become a member of Sisterhood, our hope is that you continue to grow in leadership roles and in your understanding and enjoyment of Judaism. Our mission is to promote the religious and cultural aspects of Jewish living for our synagogue.
Sisterhood is continually looking for ways to engage women in all stages of their lives. When you join, you are a community of women who support each other, celebrate each other, grow with each other, and reach out to enrich the lives of others. Sisterhood is a vibrant part of our synagogue community. Over the past few years, you may have enjoyed one of our many programs or events, such as Apples and Honey at Rosh Hashanah, Break the Fast Dinner at Yom Kippur, Refreshments in the Sukkah, the Cabbage Dinner at Simchat Torah, the Steve Miller Hot Dog and Latke Luncheon and Bake Sale, Charlotte Monk bags that are delivered to all congregants in the surrounding communities at Purim, Sisterhood Shabbat, meetings, and many more events. Sisterhood has many mitzvah projects, and we have contributed to many organizations in need through the years. One of our recent mitzvah projects was donating bath towels, hand towels, and washcloths to families who were affected by the recent tornadoes in Selma, Alabama. Tonight you will notice supplies that Sisterhood has purchased to be donated to the One Place Justice Center. Again, thank you for joining us tonight. We hope you will join us after services for our Shabbat dinner. We want to thank Chris Ginsburg and Amy Leibovitz for preparing the dinner, and Kathy Hess and Yvette Kochberg for putting together our lovely Shabbat service. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Elaine and Emily. Shabbat Shalom. And we're so grateful to have Kathy's daughter Tanya with us, and she's going to lead us in Shalom Aleichem on page 5.
Shalom
Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei HaMalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei HaMalachim Kadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Amlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Thank you so much, Tanya. Appreciate that. We continue page 11. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, ladonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, ladonai. Naria, naria, letzor yeshenu, nekad mafana betoda. Naria, naria, letzor yeshenu, bizmirot naria lo. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, ladonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, ladonai. Naria, naria, letzor yeshenu, nikad mafana betoda. Naria, naria, letzor yeshenu, bizmirot naria lo. I invite Emily to come up and lead us responsibly. Page 11, Psalm 95.
Let us go and sing to Adonai. Let us trumpet praise to our protector. Filled with thanks, let us greet God, raising our voice in song. Great is Adonai,
and greater sovereign than all other deities. God's hands formed the earth's deep, and the mountain crests too are God's work. The sea is God's, for God made it. Dry land was fashioned by God's hands.
Come then, let us bow and kneel. Let us bend our knees in the presence of Adonai who formed us.
For Adonai is our God, and we are God's flock, sheep in God's caring hands.
If only you would listen today to God's voice and not become hard-hearted like the people in Meribah, like the time at Massa in the desert, when your ancestors tried me and tested me, though they had seen what I had wrought.
For 40 years I was troubled by that generation, and I said, these are a people whose hearts have gone astray. They do not know my way. So in anger I swore they would not enter my rest.
Thank you very much, Emily. Arba'im shana kut v'dor v'omaram to'eh levavhem v'hem lo yadu derachai asher nishpati v'api im yavaon el menuchati. Page 13, Psalm 96. Shiru ladonai shir chadash, shiru ladonai kol haaretz, shiru ladonai baruch shemo, basru meyom leyom yeshuato, sapru vagoyim kevodo, bechol ha'amim nifleotav, ki gadol Adonai. O mehulal miyod, no rahu, al ko Elohim, lai lai lai, kiko Elohe amim elilim, v'Adonai shamayim asa. Had ve'adar lefanav, oz v'tiferet b'mikdasho. Havu l'Adonai mishpachot amim, havu l'Adonai kavod v'oz. Havu l'Adonai kevod shemo. Seu mincha ובואו לחצרו לילה, השתחוו לאדוני בהדרת קודש, חילו מפניו כל הארץ. אמרו הגויים, אדוני מלך, אבתיקון תבל בל תימות, ידין עמים במישרים, ישמחו השמיים ותגל הארץ. הירם הים ומלואו, יעלו שדי וכל אשר בו לילה. אז ירננו כל הצייר לפני אדוני קיבה לשפוט הארץ, ישפוט תבל בצדק ויאמין באמונתו. יאללה לה 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 יה לה 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 יה לה 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 Ya la 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 ya la la la. I invite Tina to come up and lead us responsibly in Psalm 97 on page 15.
Adonai reigns, let the earth be glad, the many distant lands rejoice. Flashes of lightning illumine the land. The earth watches and trembles. Mountains melt like wax at the approach of Adonai, at the approach of the Master of all the earth. The heavens tell of God's righteousness, and all nations see God's glory. Worshippers of idols be shamed for praising false gods. All that is deemed supreme bow before God. Zion hears of it and rejoices. The cities of Judah exult. You, Adonai, are above all that is earthly, exalted over all that is worshipped as divine. Those who love Adonai equal. God protects the lives of the faithful, saving them against evil. Light is sown for the righteous, and joy for the upright. Rejoice in Adonai, you righteous people, and thank God as you pronounce the divine holy name.
Or Latzadik Ulishra Lehev Simcha, Simchut Tzadikim Badunai, Vahodu Lezecher Kadesho. Thank you very much, Tina. Page 17, Psalm 98. Mizmor Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash Ki Niflaot Asa Hoshia Lo Yemino Uzaro Akochodia Adonai Yeshuato Le'en Goyim Gilad Sidkato Zachar Chasta Ve'emunato Levei Yisrael Ra'u Chalav Se'aretz Et Yeshuat Eloheinu Oriu Ladonai Kol Haaretz Bitzchum Veranenu V'zameru Zamru Ladonai Bechinar V'kol Zimara B'chatzot Rod V'kol Shofar Oriu Lifnei HaMelech Adonai Yiram Hayam Umalo Tevel V'yosh V'eva Ne'arot Yimcha Uchaf Yachad Arim Yiranenu Lifnei Adonai Kiva Lishpot Haaretz Yishpot Tevel B'tzedek V'yamim B'meisharim Yalai lalai 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 Yalai lalai 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 Yalai lalai 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 Yalai lalai 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 Yalai lalai 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 Yalai lalai 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 Yalai lalai 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 Ya la 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 la. We continue page 19, Psalm 99. Elaine will lead us responsively.
Adonai reigns, nations tremble. The one enthroned amidst the cherub makes the world quake.
Adonai is great in Zion above all nations. They shall acknowledge your name, saying, Great, awe-inspiring, Holy One.
A sovereign strength lies in the love of justice, and you forge the paths of truth, judging Jacob righteously and justly. Moses and Aaron among God's priests, and Samuel among those who called upon the divine name. Called to you, answered them. You spoke to them from amidst the cloud. They kept you covered. Exalt Adonai our God, and bow down at God's holy mountain, for Adonai our God is holy.
Thank you so much, Elaine. And we continue with Psalm 29, page 21, and Tanya's going to lead us.
Acclaim Adonai, children of the divine. Acclaim Adonai with honor and strength. Acclaim Adonai with the honor due God's name. Bow before Adonai in the splendor of the sanctuary. The voice of Adonai with all its power, the voice of Adonai with all its majesty. The voice of Adonai shatters the cedars. The voice of Adonai forms flames of fire. The voice of Adonai convulses the wilderness. Adonai was enthroned above the floodwaters. Enthroned, Adonai is eternally sovereign. Adonai will grant strength to God's people. Adonai will bless them with peace.
Thank you so much, Tanya. And we continue, page 23, with Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nikabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad. Hishmi'anu elam yuchad. Adonai echad. Ushamo echad. L'shem ultiferet v'litila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nikabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha. Ki mekor abiracha merosh mikedem nesucha sov maaseh b'machshvat chila lecha dodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nikabela mikdash melech ir melucha kumitzi mitocha hafecha rav lach shevet B'yemek habacha, v'hu yachamo alaychem lalecha, dodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nikabela. We rise, page 25 for the last stanza, and we face towards the west. We face to greet the Shabbat bride. Bo'wi v'shalom materet bala, Gam besimcha uvetzala tochem munei am segula boi chala lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikabela. You may be seated. continue with Psalm 92, page 27, and Adina will lead us responsively with help from Daphne. Just
Anyways. Hello.
page 27.
Thank you. It is good to thank you, Adonai, and sing your name most high, to proclaim your love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night. You gladden me with your deeds, Adonai, and I shall sing of your handiwork. The arrogant do not understand, the fool does not comprehend this. The wicked flourish like grass, and every evildoer blossoms, only to be destroyed forever. Surely your enemies, Adonai, surely your enemies will perish. All who commit evil will be scattered. As my enemies gather against me, my gaze remains steady, for my ears listen and hear. In old age they remain fruitful, still fresh and bountiful, proclaiming, Adonai is upright, my rock in whom there is no flaw.
Tzaddik tamar yifrach ki erez balvanon yiske shetulim beveit Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu od yenuvun beseva deshenim verananim yeyu lagid ki yashar Adonai tzuri v'lo avlatabo. Page 29, Psalm 93. Daphne will lead us responsibly.
Okay. Adonai is sovereign, robed in splendor, girded in strength. The earth stands firm, not to be dislodged. From earliest time you were enthroned, you are eternal.
The rivers
rise up, Adonai. The rivers raise up the roar.
The rivers raise their waves.
Above the roar of the vast sea and the majestic
Nope.
praise of the ocean.
I'm sorry. Please. In your house, beautiful in its holiness, your testimonies endure, Adonai, for all time.
Thank you so much, Adina and Daphne. Very, very nice.
Thank you.
And not shy, okay. Page 30, those observing yard site and those who mourn, please rise and join me for the Kaddish Tone, the mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabba, v'yalma divra chirutei, v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yamechon, v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agalav v'zman kariv v'ymahu amen, yehi shmei rabba mevarach le'elam olmei maya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudisha b'richu, Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, da'amiran b'yoma v'maru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shamaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'maru amen. O se shalom b'mramav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'maru amen. You may be seated. So again, Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to everyone for this wonderful Sisterhood Shabbat. We're going to have a great meal afterwards. It's always a pleasure to welcome Sisterhood into our sanctuary, and it's always nice to have one of their members who will offer the Devar. So Yvette Hochberg will say a few words of Torah.
I'm saying this for the sake that there might be some people online. Hello to those who do not know me. My name is Yvette Martinez Ochsberg, and I have been a member of the Agudath Sisterhood since 2018. This evening I've been asked to deliver the sermon, and to my fellow Minyaneers, I promise to keep it under 20 minutes. I am also a board member of the One Place Family Justice Center, a place where victims of domestic abuse and rape can find support. The uniqueness of the One Place Center is that they are a one-stop shop service for victims. All services are housed under one roof, from rape exams to legal and counseling services. For example, if a person brings charges against their abuser, they do not have to face the abuser in court. The victim is deposed on the premises of the One Place Family Justice Center by lawyers who work there. In fact, the Montgomery DA and Montgomery Police Department have a presence at the center as well. The center may service from 65 to 85 persons per month. This includes not only victims of rape and domestic abuse, but also victims of elder abuse, child abuse, and human trafficking. I am proud to say that after services, I'll be taking the donations that the Sisterhood has kindly given to the One Place Family Justice Center to them, and I know they'll be greatly appreciated. Okay. Initially, I refused to speak, but then I thought I need to let people know why and how I came to be on this board. But as we say in the film business, let me give you the backstory. This week's Parsha, Mishpatim, outlines the ordinances or laws that God bestowed upon the people after the revelation at Sinai. In verses 8 to 11, we are commanded to do the following. Now, if a man sells his daughter as a maidservant, she shall not go free as the slaves go free. If she is displeasing to her master who did not designate her for himself, then he shall enable her to be redeemed. He shall not rule over her to sell her to another person when he betrays her. And if he designates her for his son, he shall deal with her according to the law of the daughters of Israel. If he takes another wife for himself, he shall not diminish her sustenance, her clothing, or her marital relations. And if he does not do these three things for her, she shall go free without charge, without payment of money. Now let me take you under the huppah, where at the end of the wedding service, the groom smashes a glass. This commemorates the destruction of the temple 2,000 years ago. Chabad explains it in the following text. Before you were born, you and your soulmate were one, a single soul. Then as your time entered this world approached, God shattered that simple soul into two parts, one male and one female. These two half-souls were then born into the world with a mission to try to find each other and reunite. At the time, the split seemed tragic and incomprehensible. Why create fragmentation when there was once completion? Why break something just so it could be fixed? And if you were meant to be together, why didn't God leave you together? It is under the huppah, the wedding canopy, that these questions can be answered. With marriage, two halves are reuniting, never to part again. Not only that, but you can look back at the painful experience of being separated and actually celebrate it. For now, it is clear that the separation brought you closer than you would otherwise have been. Now, these two issues may appear unrelated, but in my mind, they're related. As children, we are told we will find our life partner or our soulmate. But the reality of it for some is just as my sister Berna, may she be for a blessed memory, once told me. It's a shame we treat strangers better than we treat family. And that's where my story comes in. After 28 years of verbal and psychological abuse from my ex-husband, I was transported by the will of God, I believe, to Montgomery, Alabama. And as I ask myself daily, why Montgomery, Alabama? It saved my life. As the verbal abuse worsened, I became afraid of the person I thought was my soulmate. As a last act of punishment before we were to move to Alabama, he shot me in the breast with a BB gun, an act I originally thought nothing of, having been conditioned to doubt myself, distrust myself, and see myself as a nothing. However, when I recounted the story to a friend of mine, who I incidentally met here in Montgomery, she said to me, "Yvette, that was just practice. He was planning on killing you next with a gun." That is when true reality hit me. I sought out a civil divorce. I became involved with an area organization, Moms for Gun Sense, started therapy, and met my lawyer, who nominated me for the position on the One Place Family Justice Board. Luckily, my ex-spouse never moved up, and I actually thank God daily for I was redeemed just as the maidservant in this week's portion. But as I tell my family, on the other hand, I think I was the only one on the hook, under the hook the day I got married. I tell this story not so that you will feel sorry for me or even feel, oh, she's just a bitter divorced woman who probably deserved it. Believe me, I've been told both things. I tell you this story because for years I would go into the bathrooms in multiple shuls that I belonged to or visited, and neatly tucked away in the bathroom stalls were signs listing domestic abuse services and numbers. In fact, at one shul, the sign said something like this: "As Jews, we are ashamed of outing our abuser. Please don't hide it anymore. It is a matter of life and death." So remember, it is a matter of life and death. Please reach out to anyone and let them know what is happening to you. Please, Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for those personal words. We continue our service with Ma'ariv, page 39a. We rise for the Baruch Hu, the call to worship. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai Barach Le'olam Va'ed. You may be seated. Baruch atah Adonai, our God, sovereign of time and space, whose word brings the evening dusk, whose wisdom opens the gates of dawn, whose understanding changes the day's division, whose will sets the succession of seasons and arranges the stars in their places in the sky, who creates day and night, who rolls light before darkness and darkness from light, who makes day pass into night, who distinguishes day from night. Adonai Tzavaot is your name, living and ever-present God. May your rule be with us forever and ever. Baruch atah Adonai, who brings each evening's dusk. U'mahavir yom u'mevi layla, mavdil ben yom u'ven layla, Adonai Tzavaot Shemo, El Chai v'kayim tamid v'yaloch aleinu lamvoed. Baruch atah Adonai Hamariv Aravim, page 40. Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael amchavta Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim otanu limadeta al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shachveinu v'kumeinu nesiach bechukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha uv'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed ki em chayenu v'orech yameinu uva'em nege yomam v'layla V'avatach tasi mimenu la'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinanatam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'derech uv'shachpecha v'kumecha ukshartam niot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'ninecha uchtabdam nam zuzot beitecha uv'isharecha v'hayim shamo et tishmo mitzvah asher anochi b'chol v'chev. Vayomer Adonai o Moshe lemor daber el bnei Yisrael v'amarta lehem v'yasu lahem tzitzit al kanfe vigdehem ledoratam v'natnu al tzitzit akana petiot achelet v'hayalachem letzitzit uritem oto uzchartem et kol mitzvot Adonai v'asitem otam v'lo tatu racharei levavachem v'acharei nechem asher tem zonim achareihem Leman dizgaru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'item kedoshim leloechem ani Adonai Eloechem asher hotzeiti etechem me'eretz Mitzrayim leot lachem le'elohim ani Adonai Eloechem Adonai Elohechem emet. Page 43a. This is our enduring affirmation binding on us that Adonai is our God and there is none other, and we, Israel, are God's people. God is our sovereign, redeeming us from earthly rulers, delivering us from the hand of all tyrants, bringing judgment upon our oppressors, and just retribution upon our mortal enemies, performing wonders beyond understanding and marvels beyond all reckoning. God places us among the living, not allowing our steps to falter, and leads us past the false altars of our enemies, exalting us above all those who hate us. Adonai avenged us with miracles before Pharaoh, offered signs and wonders in the land of Egypt. God brought Israel from its midst to lasting freedom and led them through the divided waters of the Sea of Reeds. As their pursuers and enemies drowned in the depths, God's children beheld the power of the divine. They praised and acknowledged God's name. Page 44. U'machuta b'ratzon ki b'aleihem Moshe u'Miriam v'nei Yisrael l'chan shira b'simcha rabba v'yamaru chulam mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai mi chamocha nedor b'kodesh naharati lot O seifele malchut acharu v'nechabu ki yam lifnei Moshe zeli anu v'yameru Adonai imloch leolam voed v'nemar ki fada Adonai et Yaakov u'galod mit chazak mimenu baruch atah Adonai kol Yisrael. Page 45. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu. ושמוצאתנו ואין לחיים ושלומי טובי עד עולם, ופרוסה לנו סוכת שלומך ברוך אתה אדוני, הפורץ סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים. We rise, page 46. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת בדורתם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת בדורתם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית העולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית העולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ביום דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם נעלמי מיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתחומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, תמירן ביומה v'maru. Amen. The silent Amidah, pages 47 through 52. We continue page 53. Vayechulu hashamayim ve'haaretz v'chol tzibam vayechal Elohim bayom hashvi melachto asher asa vayishbot bayom hashvi mikol melachto asher asa Vayivarech Elohim et Yom HaShavi Vayikadesh Oto Kivo Shavat Mikol Melachto Kivo Shavat Mikol Melachto Asher bara Elohim Asher bara Elohim Lasot. You may be seated. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Ve'Eloi Avotenu Eloi Avraham, Eloi Yitzchak, Eloi Yaakov, Ho'el Agado Gibor V'Hanora, El Elyon Konei Shamayim Va'aretz, Magen Avot Bidvaro, Mechaye Meitim B'Mamaro, Ho'el HaKadosh Shein Kamohu, Hameniach Li'amo, B'yom Shabbat Kodsho, Kivam Ratza Le'aniach Lahem, Kivam Ratza Le'aniach Lahem, Lefanav Navod B'yirav Afachad, V'nodeh Lishmo B'chol Yom Tamid, Me'ena Berachot, Elaodot, Adon Hashalom Mikadesh HaShabbat Umvarech Shavi Umeniach Bikdusha Leam Bikdush Neoneg Zecher Lemase Vereshi Eloheinu Ve'Eloi Avotenu Ritzei Ve'Menuchatenu Kadeshenu b'mitzvotecha, v'tein chelkenu b'toratecha, sabenu mituvecha, v'samchenu b'shuatecha, v'taheli b'levdecha b'emet, v'yanchilenu Adonai Eloheinu, b'yava uvratzon, Shabbat kodeshecha, V'yanuchu v'o Yisroel Mikadeshei Shemecha Baruch atah Adonai Mikadesh HaShabbat Yitkadav Yikadash Shemecha Ba b'yamad divrach Kirutei v'yamlech malchutei B'chayechon v'yamechon v'chaydechol Beit Yisrael B'agalav Zman Kariv Imaru Amen Yehishmera b'mevarach Le'olam yalmel maya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitbar v'yitmam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalav shmei kudisha b'richu leila min kol birchata v'sherta tushbachata v'nechamata damiran b'yoma v'yimaru amen titkaber tzloton v'tan l'chois kanam v'nishma v'yimaru amen yesh lama rabba min shamay v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimaru amen oseh shalom b'imromav hu yaseh shalom Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imaru. Amen. And we rise, page 56, as the ark is open for Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol l'teit gedula liyotzeh b'reshit shelo asan k'goyei ha'aratzot v'lo samanu k'mishmachot ha'adama Shalom Sam B'chelkeinu Kahem V'goraleinu K'chol Hamonam V'anachnu Korim U'b'shtachavim U'modim L'fnei Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Shehu Notei Shamayim V'yosei Haaretz U'Moshe V'yikarav V'Shamayim V'Imal V'yol Haaretz V'yol Haaretz V'Romim Hu Eloheinu Einod Emet Malkeinu Eretz Lata Katu B'Torata V'yadata Hayom v'shivota elevavecha. Ki Adonai hu Elohim b'shamayim v'aretz v'tachat peinim al-kein v'lechad Elohim. Gagadu v'doratech Adonai mloch le'lam voed v'nema v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz bayom mahu yeh Adonai echad u'shema echad. The ark is closed. And we are seated. Thank you so much. This week, we will observe yard sites for Harry Leibovitz, Lowell McManama, Hazel Aronov, Joy Dahan, Yom Tov B. Toronto, Rose Axelrod, Jack I. Cohen, Rose Rallower Gittenstein, Gertrude K. Goodman, Maurice Showolf, Frank Turner, Rachel Finkelstein, Morris Franco, Albert S. Israel, Bertha Katz, Natalie Moscow, Elliot Kapoya, Jaime Ehrlich, Fanny Froelich, Harry Raymond, Barbara Ann Rosen, Julia Rosenberg, Beverly Wallach, Rose Katz Heller Klein, Leon Siegel, and Joseph Weinstock. Those observing yard site and those who mourn, please rise, page 58, and join me for the Kaddish Tome, the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabba b'yalma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala v'zman kariv imaru amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevarach le'alam olmei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei d'kudisha barichu. Le'lam min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechamata da'amiran b'yalma v'imaru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shamaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'maru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'maru amen. You may be seated. Thank you all for joining us this evening. It's always nice to have a Minyan Plus in the sanctuary. I wish we could have that every week. Hint, hint. We are open, obviously, and we invite all of our congregants that are within driving distance to come join us on Friday night and Saturday morning, or Saturday morning. Kathy, you going to say some? Nope. They said enough? Okay. All right.
One thing I just wanted to
Please.
remind everybody that Sisterhood's biggest fundraiser of the year is going on right now, the Forum Charlotte Monsbach. So if you have not sent your form in, please send it in. We have a week or so, but we would appreciate it very much.
So, yeah, Purim is coming up Monday night, March 6th, and we're going to have a big dinner. And, of course, the highlight of Purim is always the Shalach Monot bags that go out to every member of the congregation. So please donate so we can make sure that it's all paid for, and we make a little money on it. So services will continue tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. Tomorrow night, the Alabama Community Virtual Havdalah will meet at 7 p.m. via Zoom. There is no religious school this weekend? Okay. Thank you. And that's it. What? Did I miss something? Okay. All right, we will go ahead and complete tonight's service with Adon Olam, page 211. Adon Olam asher malach b'terem kol yitzir nivra li'et nasa v'chefso kol azay melech shemo nikra Adon Olam v'yacharei kichlota kol levado yimloch nora Adon Olam v'uaya v'uove v'uya b'tifara Adon Olam asher malach b'terem kol yitzir nivra li'et nasa v'chefso kol Azay melech shemo nikra Adon Olam v'hu echad v'yein sheni laham shelo lahachbira Adon Olam beli reshit beli tachlit v'lo hoz v'hamisra Adon Olam asher malach terem kol yitzir nivra li'et nasa v'chefso kol azay melech shemo nikra Adon Olam v'hu eli v'chai goali v'tzorchev li b'yetzara Adon Olam v'hu nisi yomanos li minat kosi b'yom mikra Adon Olam asher malach b'terem kol yitzir nivra li'et nasa v'chefso kol azay melech shemo nikra Adon Olam biyado afkid ruchi b'yetishan v'yaira Adon Olam v'maruchi geviati Adon Oli v'lo ira Adon Olam asher malach b'terem kol yitzir nivra li'et nasa v'chefso kol azay melech shemo nikra Adon Olam. Shabbat shalom. We're all going to do Kiddush and Motzi